I'm bolting up my headers. I had all my ports covered with blue masking tape because I didn't want anything, mice, shit like that, to get in there. When I put the motor in the car, I didn't think about pulling those out. And if I did, I probably thought, well, maybe it'll keep shit out of there. But anyhow, so now I've been trying to peel this off. And it's a pain in the butt. Can't hardly get into it. So that's something that I'll make a note to myself. Make sure that I got this side on. The TTI instructions said recommended using a very thin layer of RTV high temp silicone. So I did that. This was easy. What I did was put a floor jack underneath the header just to hold it in place. I took out the two end bolts and then I slid the header or the gasket down. Of course, got RTV all over it, but I was wearing some rubber gloves, and I did it without making a huge mess, which is not typical for me because I'm ADD and I'm always going way too. Pardon me. Always going way too fast. So I just gotta get that little. There's just a little bit more. It's probably fine, but I'm not gonna leave it too OCD for that, and I don't want to leak. I have a used starter. I don't know if I can see it. It's a good starter. I don't know if I'm being stupid using it, but it's a good Mopar mini starter. I don't know. I guess worst case, it's pretty easy to drop the header back out if I take the steering column out. But I don't know. I'm going to quit dwelling on it. I'm just going to put it together and hope for the best. You know, got to save a buck here and there. Spent so much money on little things that I thought I would either reuse or had laying around. And then I go to put it on and just realize it looks like crap. So, yeah. It all keeps piling up. I don't even want to go through the receipts. But anyways, I'll continue on. Once I get this header bolted up, then I'm going to lift it up in the air and start installing the exhaust. Right, starting the exhaust install. Now it says work from the back forward. So got these brackets here. I've already bent this tab a little bit because the other one, where is it? Oh, hold on, I'm still here. I got my phone in the crook of my arm. All right, so this is what they look like. So fit right there very nicely, but it looks like this should be bent up where you can stick it in that hole. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go over here to the vise and kind of make an L shape, and hopefully it doesn't break off or something, but that way it'll fit up in there and it'll be locked in. So I don't know if that's what they plan on people doing or what, but that's the way I'm going to do it. Yep. So I got a nice little bend in there. What I did was took a crescent wrench and straightened it, and then I put it in the vise long ways to where the jaw set here, and then kind of tapped it over. It's kind of hard to bend. I don't want to bend it back and forth too much because I don't want to break it. But I did the same to the other one, and it fits up there nice. It's definitely very nice brackets. I think they're going to be stout as heck. Pretty happy. Alright, so those are on. They look friggin' nice, and they are stout. So next I'm going to unbox, well, they're already unboxed, but I'm going to take all the wraps off this. Everything came packaged really nice. I got a dent here, which sucks because, well, the way it was packaged too, that wasn't like on the outside of the box. So it must have been dented going into the box. But whatever, man. I'm not even going to sweat that. Everything else looks beautiful. So All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get these over the axle pieces in. And I might be getting ahead of myself though, because that one's got the factory bracket there, no factory bracket. So, where is it? Well, I have a new bracket somewhere. I'll have to find it. Yeah. So, yeah. So I was looking at these, and the instructions says mount the offset towards the drive shaft. And then I was looking, well, it just said that in the instructions. It's like that doesn't give me enough info. So now I'm looking at the instructions, and you can see the plate is on the back side of the rubber. It says muffler hangers mount with the offset towards the drive shaft. So it's a little bit confusing, but I think offset towards the drive shaft means it needs to be offset towards the drive shaft. We see that this one is the passenger side. Hope I'm right. That's a little bit confusing. Well, no, hold on. Oh, right here, yeah, that tells us something. Showing muffler hanger bolted to the body bracket. So it's bolted on the outside of there. Now, gives me a little bit more. Cool. I'm going to put it in the way I think it's supposed to go. I guess I'll find out later if I'm wrong. All right. So I got to weld the new bracket on this side. So I'm going to pull this darn e-brake cable. One of the things that's cool about this car is it sat for 36 years in a driveway, and the trunk was gone and the floor pan was gone, but that was all from the moisture that got in through the rusted deck filler panel and maybe through the windows, but everything else underneath here is beautiful, and nothing's rusted. I mean, everything comes apart like it's friggin' new. The old exhaust is there. I don't know if that's, I don't know. I was thinking it was original. The car only had 58,000 miles, but it was parked in 86, so it would have been 17 years old, so it probably had exhaust put on it. But yeah, it's generally a pleasure to work on. So I measured off the frame rail from, well, here to there, 5.5 inches, and from here to here we're 6 3/4. Oops, not the point. From here to here. So that's where I'm going to put this bracket, which is, come on, why am I, well, it's somewhere. I just had it. What did I do with it? Well, I'll find it here in a minute. I'm just going to take a wire wheel and clean out a few spots. It came with nuts and bolts, but I'm just going to weld it in. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do next. Alright, so I took a wire wheel to get through some of the undercoating, and I found these two little dimples. I'm sure those are where they would have drilled and spot welded this. I'm not sure. But anyhow, those little dimples don't line up perfectly. They're up in those corners, but this is the position that, according to my measurements, is where it needs to be. So, the bottom of the bracket kind of hangs down a little bit. I'm just going to put a bead of weld on either side and weld up in those holes. And this thing will never go anywhere. I'll hit it with some weld through primer and then some sort of paint on the outside. Alright, so I got that welded in there. I'm not the best welder. I went ahead and put the top two bolts in. Bottom two wouldn't have went in flat. So I got that set at the same spot as the other one, and the hanger was setting the second one down, but that wasn't working. It was too high, so no biggie. I just dropped these down. Now I got a little bit of room up there between the frame and this one here. Obviously, it's not touching, but I might drop it down. We'll see once we get it in, but you can kind of see right now that yeah, I'll probably have to drop it down, otherwise it's not going to be even. So, all right, there's that part. It's one of them times where, shit, I was trying to get the back seat out. It was fighting me. And then I was trying to weld. I didn't have to freaking... I turned on carbon dioxide, but I did not adjust the regulator, so it was welding like crap. Then I figured that out. But I was about to pull my hair out for a few minutes. That's looking pretty good there. I got to cut the ends off in order to put the tips on, but I'll do that very last. So next thing is to put the mufflers on. So put the mufflers on, and they said I might have to cut the X pipe down. So I don't know, we'll see. All right, so I just slipped the mufflers on for now. Hey, looks ugly. But, so they fit. And they're pretty tight. I'm still gonna have to drop that passenger side one. I was trying to figure out what side went where. I kind of figured this kind of bevels down, or bends down a little bit, so I figured that was it. But then I looked on the pipes, it says left and right, so they've kind of made it dummy proof, I guess. So now these have left and right as well, and then the adapters top left, so it tells me what orientation to put them in. All right, so everything just kind of set in there. I just tightened up the collectors, but it fits pretty darn nice. So I'm going to lower that muffler to the next, that muffler hanger down to the next holes. Give me a little bit more room for the frame rail, and then hopefully that'll make my the exhaust pipes stick out at the same angle. Because right now they're coming up out at a different angle. But I'm ready to tighten everything up, and yeah, shit, I'm ready to call this a done project. One of my drive shafts over here fits, so I'm going to grab some new U-joints, and then I can put the drive shaft in. I got to get a new output shaft seal, and shit, man, it's coming. Almost buttoned up underneath. I gotta put my front tires on and yeah, see how it sits. But man, I am pretty darn happy with this. It's looking good. Of course, right now the mufflers are all cattywampus because they're not tightened. So I'm gonna quit messing around here and get everything tightened and adjusted, and hopefully it's gonna look tits in the back. Well, so I measured down from the bottom of the body to the center of the exhaust pipe, and they're both the same now, but in order, if I drop this down to make it even, it's going to be too low. But I do have another hole up there, so I'm going to go ahead and try to drop it down and move it up, because I don't want it sitting cockeyed like that is gonna bug me. But besides that, it's all tightened up. Looking bitchin'.